From public meltdowns that spiral out of control to perfectly timed chaos inside the house, these are the funniest Malcolm in the Middle moments. Starting with Reese taking over the kitchen. Reese might not be the smartest character in the family, but when it comes to cooking, he's weirdly gifted. And that's exactly what makes this moment so funny.
Well, this is the turkey you got?
It's perfect.
It's really small.
Well, if it were any bigger, it wouldn't be able to fit inside of this!
During Thanksgiving, Reese takes full control of the kitchen, determined to make the perfect meal. For once, everything is actually going right. The food looks incredible, the timing is perfect, and then one tiny problem ruins everything. He can't find the oven mitts. What follows is pure panic. Reese starts spiraling, yelling, and making increasingly worse decisions, all while trying to maintain control of the situation. And instead of solving the problem, he ends up grabbing a scorching hot tray with his bare hands.
Leave me in space! Move the oven mitts!
What makes this moment work so well is the contrast. Reese goes from confident chef to complete meltdown in seconds. And if you thought that was chaotic, the next moment proves the boys don't need a kitchen to cause absolute destruction. Number 9, Francis' slingshot. If there's one thing Francis excels at, it's turning bad ideas into full-scale operations. And this moment might be one of his most creative and destructive.
Boys, the time has come. You're about to see the device that will change the face of Halloween forever. A slingshot capable of hurling objects over a distance of 2 city blocks.
When he returns home, Francis decides to take things up a notch by building a massive slingshot on the roof. Not a toy, not something small, an actual neighborhood launching machine. Naturally, Malcolm, Reese, and Dewey are immediately on board. What follows is complete chaos as they start launching random objects across the neighborhood. Food, junk, anything they can get their hands on becomes ammunition. And for a while, it actually works. They're unstoppable. What makes this scene so funny is how seriously they treat it. It's not just kids messing around. It feels like a full military operation. Of course, it eventually backfires, like everything they do.
Nothing! We can fight! We can fight! We can fight! We can fight! We can fight!
We have to surrender.
Francis is right. We have to give up, Reese.
Come on, you wussies! Just shoot me over there! I'll kick their asses myself! Ah! Put it on!
And if that kind of chaos felt big, the next moment proves you don't need weapons to create a full-blown disaster. Number 8, parking lot duel. Lois is usually the voice of discipline in the family, but this moment proves she's just as capable of chaos as the boys. It starts with something small. A woman in a parking lot carelessly hits Lois's car door and doesn't apologize. Most people would be annoyed and move on. Lois does not move on. Instead, she hits the woman's car back. And just like that, the situation escalates into one of the most ridiculous standoffs in the entire show. Back and forth, the two keep slamming their doors into each other's cars like it's some kind of low-speed demolition derby. What makes this moment so funny is how petty it is. Neither of them is willing to back down, and it just keeps getting worse. It's Lois at her most unhinged. And if you thought that level of chaos was intense, the next moment proves the family can fall apart even faster when everything goes wrong at once. Number 7, Jamie's birth. If there's one moment that perfectly captures how chaotic this family is under pressure, it's this
Lois,
one.
You have to stop doing that. You are really freaking me out.
Yeah,
please,
me too,
calm
Lois.
down. And I'm a calm down.
Lois goes into labor, and immediately, everything starts going wrong. Hal gets into a car accident trying to get her to the hospital. The boys are completely unprepared and scrambling to figure out what to do. And somehow, the situation gets even worse when it becomes clear help isn't arriving anytime soon, which leads to the moment nobody forgets. Francis ends up having to deliver the baby himself.
What was that?
I got
got it. I got it.
What makes this scene so funny is the contrast. Francis, who usually causes problems, is suddenly forced into one of the most serious situations imaginable, and he is not ready for it. The panic, the chaos, and the reactions make it unforgettable. And if that situation felt stressful, the next moment proves the show can turn something simple into something just as ridiculous. Number 6. Funky Town Skating. Hal has a lot of strange hobbies, but this moment might be the one that defines him best. When Malcolm asks Hal to teach him how to skate, it seems like a normal father-son bonding moment for about 5 seconds. Then the music starts. Out of nowhere, Hal transforms into a full-on skating performer, gliding across the floor while dancing to Funky Town like he's been waiting his entire life for this moment. The moves are ridiculous, over the top, and somehow incredibly impressive. What makes this scene so funny is how seriously Hal takes it. To him, this is a perfectly valid teaching method. To Malcolm, it's pure embarrassment. And somehow, it actually works. It's one of those moments where the show leans completely into absurdity and nails it. But if you thought Hal being ridiculous was funny, the next moment proves things get even better when the entire family joins in. If your favorite moment hasn't shown up yet, don't worry. Because from here on out, these are the scenes fans never forget. And if you love revisiting chaotic sitcom moments like these, make sure you're subscribed to the channel for more countdowns just like this. Number 5. Clown Fight. This is the moment where everything that defines this family comes together and explodes.
Okay, I get it. You gotta make a big show for them.
Now, you are gonna get up and apologize.
Yeah, good job. Hit him, Dad. Oh, work the gut. Put on the inside. Through the left. Beat him. Yeah.
After forgetting Lois's birthday, Hal and the boys try to fix things in the worst way possible. They track her down at a batting cage, bring a random cake, and hire a clown to cheer her up. It's already a bad plan. Then the clown insults Lois, and instantly, everything changes. Hal throws the first punch, the boys jump in, and suddenly it turns into a full-on brawl with multiple clowns. What makes this scene unforgettable isn't just the chaos, it's the tone. It's shot in slow motion, set to music, and somehow feels both ridiculous and weirdly emotional. Because for once, the family is completely united. It's messy, over the top, and completely iconic. And if you thought that kind of revenge was satisfying, the next moment takes it to an even bigger scale. Number 4. Family Reunion Destruction. This moment proves that when the boys decide to defend Lois, there are absolutely no limits. At Hal's family reunion, things start off uncomfortable. The relatives are judgmental, passive-aggressive, and openly disrespectful toward Lois. Normally, the boys would be causing problems for her, but not this time. When Lois finally reaches her breaking point, something shifts. Malcolm, Reese, and Dewey decide they've had enough and take matters into their own hands. What follows is one of the most chaotic revenge sequences in the entire series. They steal a golf cart, crash through tables, ruin the entire event, and send everything into complete disarray. What makes this moment so funny and satisfying is the motivation. For once, the chaos isn't random, it's targeted. It's the boys at their most destructive and their most loyal. And somehow, even that level of destruction isn't enough to crack the top 3. Number 3, Hal race walking. No one commits to something quite like Hal. What starts as him casually noticing a group of race walkers quickly turns into a full-blown obsession. And not just a hobby, an identity.
Something like this?
Hey, I think you've got it. Look at that, guys. I think we got ourselves a natural.
Wow! Look at me! I can walk!
Hal throws himself into it with complete intensity, training non-stop, buying gear, and treating it like the most important thing in his life. But the real comedy comes from how seriously he takes something so ridiculous. He imagines intense rivalries, pushes himself to extremes, and even develops this over-the-top competitive mindset that feels completely out of place. And that's exactly why it works. Bryan Cranston plays it perfectly, turning what should be a throwaway joke into one of the most memorable character moments in the show. Fans still talk about this scene years later. And somehow, even this level of commitment isn't enough to take the top spot, because the next two moments aren't just funny, they're legendary. Number 2, Hal pops the balloon kids. This moment is the perfect example of how Malcolm in the Middle can flip from emotional to hilarious in seconds. Hal thinks he might be seriously ill, and for once, everything slows down. He's reflective, emotional, and clearly shaken. Meanwhile, Malcolm and Reese sneak out, leaving behind fake decoys in their beds, balloons with masks on them. Hal walks into the room, believing his sons are asleep. What follows is a genuinely heartfelt moment. He gives a quiet, emotional speech, talking about how much he loves them and how proud he is. And then, he leans in to kiss one of them goodnight. The balloon pops, instant chaos. Hal screams. Dewey wakes up and starts screaming at the mask, and the entire emotional tone collapses into pure panic. It's one of the sharpest comedic reversals in the entire show. And even with all that, it still isn't number 1. Because the top spot is the moment that perfectly captures the show's chaos in its purest form. Number 1, Bounce House Disaster. This is it. The moment that perfectly captures everything Malcolm in the Middle does best. Dewey finally gets his dream birthday party, complete with a bounce house. For once, things actually seem like they might go smoothly. At the same time, Malcolm is dealing with being dumped and is desperate to feel better. So he does what anyone in this show would do. He tries to force happiness. He climbs into the bounce house. What follows is one of the funniest sequences in the entire series. Malcolm starts jumping with this exaggerated, almost unsettling smile, trying to convince himself he's having fun. The scene slows down, the music kicks in, and it becomes this bizarre, surreal moment of forced joy. And then everything collapses. The bounce house starts deflating with kids trapped inside. Panic spreads instantly, and Hal completely loses control trying to save everyone. It's chaotic, absurd, and perfectly timed. More than anything, it represents the show at its core. A simple moment turning into total disaster.
You're okay! Don't be scared!
These were some of the funniest Malcolm in the Middle moments ever, but honestly, there are way too many to fit into just 10. So now we want to hear from you. Which moment made you laugh the most? And what scene would you have put at number 1? And if you want more countdowns breaking down the funniest and most iconic sitcom moments, make sure you're subscribed. Now, if you cannot get enough of these clips, find out what the top 10 best episodes are in history by clicking the video in screen.